Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Two Dallas Cowboys offensive players who underperformed in 2024. With the NFL officially in playoff season, the Dallas Cowboys will not be a part of it. A disappointing 7-10 record had them finishing third in the NFC East. While many things factored into the disappointing season, there were several players who underperformed. Here are two players who underperformed this season for the Cowboys. Jake Ferguson in 2023, tight end Jake Ferguson impressed fans in his first season as the team's starter. He amassed 761 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns, making himself a reliable target for QB Dak Prescott. However, this season was a different story for the tight end. When the team lost Prescott due to injury this season, the whole offense took a hit. Backup Cooper Rush has earned his flowers as a reliable backup in the league, but going from Prescott to Rush is a recipe for a less explosive offense. Ferguson finished the season with a minuscule 494 receiving yards and 0 touchdowns. He only averaged 8.4 yards per reception, and his longest catch of the year only went for 27 yards. While his stats likely would have been better if Prescott had played all year, Cowboys fans were hopeful Ferguson was on the cusp of becoming a top 10 tight end in the league. He often felt like an afterthought in the offense this season and didn't contribute to explosive plays. Ferguson is on a contract year next season, and will need to have a bounce-back performance if he hopes to secure a big contract in free agency. He will also need to be more impactful if the team hopes to get some help outside of WRCD Lamb in the offense. Tyler Guyton. When the front office selected offensive tackle Tyler Guyton in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft, it was no secret he would need time to develop. Playing right tackle throughout his time in college, he would have to learn how to play on the left side of the line after the Cowboys lost veteran Tyron Smith in free agency last offseason. Even if he didn't have to change sides on the offensive line, Guyton never had elite fundamentals and technique as a blocker in college. Similarly to Tyler Smith, the Cowboys selected Guyton because of his strength, athleticism, and size. Guyton had a difficult rookie season, to say the least. He finished with a 49.4 PFF grade, with ranks 116th in the NFL. He had a 60.2 pass blocking grade and a 51.3 run blocking grade. He was a flag machine for the Cowboys this season, committing 14 infractions. It's far too early to consider him a bust, as he was thrown in a difficult situation in his rookie year. But there are serious concerns if Guyton is the team's future at the left tackle position. The Cowboys have a lot that they will need to address if they want to get back to competing for the NFC East next season, but getting more consistent play from these two in 2025 would do wonders for the offense becoming more consistent. Cowboys contract issue. About what is Coach McCarthy's fault? The Dallas Cowboys and head coach Mike McCarthy still appear to be locked in contract talks, and with the season ending a week ago, the fact that nothing is done either way is odd. With so many potential head coaches out there and with Jerry Jones' liking of McCarthy, things have been moving slowly because, of course, right? With so many threads to pull, there is one element of McCarthy's 2024 season as offensive play caller that Jerry must take into account, and it might have been something most have forgotten given it was so long ago. For ESPN, the number one priority this offseason is to sort out this coaching situation. Well, duh, but they also included a little nugget that Jerry surely must be aware of. Figure out the coaching situation, ESPN writes. Will Mike McCarthy return, or will team owner Jerry Jones hire his ninth coach since 1989? McCarthy deserves praise for how the team played late in the season when injuries took away key players on both sides of the ball. What happened beforehand, however, has to be reconciled. The offense took a major step back, down more than a touchdown per game in points, and McCarthy is the play caller, so that has to fall on him. ESPN is referencing the early part of the season, the 44-19 blowout loss to the New Orleans Saints and the 28-25 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Both happened in consecutive weeks, and on both occasions, the Cowboys looked horrendous on offense. Cowboys get good news on coach search as McCarthy deadline looms. For all the issues that Dallas may have, whether on their roster, on the salary cap sheet or in the front office, specifically, the owner's box, at least it can be said that one thing remains true: the top minds in the game still want to be the head coach of the Cowboys. And as the team shuffles its feet on the future of incumbent coach Mike McCarthy, that's worth taking into consideration. McCarthy's deal expires on Tuesday, and that will mark the end of the Cowboys' exclusive negotiating period with him, but by no means should the Cowboys feel like their future is a McCarthy or bust situation. This week, The Athletic conducted a poll of coaches and executives to get a read on which of the open coaching jobs are considered most favorable around the NFL. There are, currently, 6 that are technically open: the Bears, Patriots, Jaguars, Raiders, Jets, and Saints. The Cowboys could be open in 2 days. And among those 7, the Cowboys are the clear favorite, garnering 32 points, well ahead of the Jaguars, 27, and the Patriots, 26. There are few reasons for that, as NFL folks told the report's writer, Jeff Howe. While the team's financial situation is a concern, there is also a lot on the roster that does not need to be rebuilt, one executive said. The Cowboys are up against the salary cap and need to extend annual NFL Defensive Player of the Year candidate Micah Parsons, Howe wrote. There also are dangers with having a host of highly paid veteran stars, as a rash of injuries can quickly expose depth issues. But the Cowboys, behind VP of Player Personnel Will McClay, tend to draft well and have waves of younger players on the horizon. Working under Jones tends to provide job security. He's had 5 coaches since 2000, all of whom got at least 3 years. Coaches around the NFL also recognize the legacy they can build if they bring a Super Bowl to Dallas. Should the Cowboys pivot from McCarthy, they might take control of the hiring cycle. That's at least worth considering as the Cowboys decide on the fate of McCarthy, who has gone 49-35 as coach of Dallas. The team has made 3 playoff appearances and compiled a 1-3 record in McCarthy's postseason runs, one of the major marks against him continuing in Dallas. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported on Saturday that there have not been substantial talks on a contract for McCarthy in Dallas. While there have been substantial conversations between Mike McCarthy and Cowboys owner Jerry Jones regarding football issues and questions, there have not been any substantial discussions regarding a future contract. As long as that's the case, you have to wonder, what is Jerry Jones waiting for? The longer this goes on, and the less the conversation is about a deal materializing, the more you have to wonder about whether the sides can get one done. I think that is in question right now. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Mike McCarthy? Leave your opinion in the comments.